Ladies and gentlemen, in all the great basketball talent that came out of our area, Tina Hutchinson is right there at the top. To show you how good she was, at one point during her high school career, she was ranked as the #1 player in the country. It's been said that she was the most talented girls basketball player to ever lace up sneakers in the St. Louis metropolitan area when she was selected as National Player of the Year by both USA Today and Parade Magazine. Interviewed by Earl Austin Jr., let's hear about the journey to the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame for Tina Hutchinson.
Here comes Tina on the break. Tina all the way. You got it. Tina Hutchinson.
Basketball is such a great sport. It took me places that I've read about in my history books to go overseas in Europe to play. And it was an awesome experience. My uncle, Joseph Lee, got me into playing basketball. I used to love to follow him around, especially in the summertime. You know, they would play basketball at different gyms, and then a lot of the times they would come to my grandmother's backyard, or well, her garage rather, because we had a goal back there. And so I said, I think I can do that.
Tina from 18's got it.
It means a whole lot, holding a record for 40 years. Being in a team-oriented sports, it's great. It's great for morale, it's great for momentum, it's great for you to get to know your teammates.
Guys, let me just say this. I'm not going to be long. I can, but I'm not. I know you guys are sleepy and tired. It's a weekday. Mine is going to go really quick, okay? All right. I just want you guys to know that. I'm not going to push you to sleep.
You're going to hear about her, though. I'm going to tell her. First of all, Ed, I would like to thank the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame for
Absolutely.
recognizing, this is a legend, folks. A lot of people may not know of Tina because her career was cut short for a knee injury, but she's one of the most legendary figures in all of high school sports and would have been had she not suffered an unfortunate knee injury. The records that you see, Kelsey Plum, Caitlin Clark, break at the collegiate level would have been hers. That's how good she was. Not only she was one of the best players in the country, but in the world. And this is my first time meeting her, so I'm very excited because I've been telling people about you. First of all, what does it mean to be inducted into the Hall of Fame today?
To be honest with you, this is such a pleasure. It is amazing. I know you guys noticed that I wear this medallion around my neck. This is my baby brother. He passed of lung cancer in 21. And he was one of my greatest. I mean, he just loved him some Tina Hutchinson. And I wish that he was here to be able, he and my grandmother, she passed also. I wish that they were here to enjoy this moment with me because this is truly a pleasure to be here with you guys. I'm just in awe and amazement. 2 years ago, I was asked to come here and I had an emergency and I couldn't come. Had I known I was going to be shown the love that you guys are showing me, I probably would have got on a plane and flown here, okay? But be that as it may, I am glad to be sitting here in this spot today. Thank you so much for having me.
If you get a chance, read the story I wrote. It's in the program, but Tina is probably the first unicorn in St. Louis basketball. We'll go on the girls' side. As you see, she's 6'3", but Tina, you think of some of the great players we've seen, you know, Kristen Focal at St. Joe's, great, powerful center. Nafisa Collier, who played for Dan Rolfus, great player on those great Incarnate Word teams. Niele Ivey, outstanding point guard. Tina was a combination of all three. I watched her play. I was at Lindenwood University, and we go. Lee St. Louis Lincoln was at the Duchenne tournament, and right down the street. So we went there, our guys, and we watched her play. She was bringing the ball up, pulling up from 20 feet, blocking shots, almost dunking the ball. And we were like, Coach, she could play for our team. That's how good she was. Who instilled in you the confidence to put the ball in your hands that you can play? Because usually tall people go inside back then. This is 1982 and 81. Who instilled in you that I can do all these things back then 40 years ago? We see that. That's commonplace now. But 40 years ago, tall girls weren't doing what you were doing easily.
First of all, if you want to be effective in anything, whatever your craft is, you have to learn how to play all of the positions. I was listening to the guy that won the Mike Jones that won the Super Bowl, and his craft wasn't the first position that he wanted to play. His coach wanted him to play another position. You have to learn how to play. I learned how to play all 5 positions, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm from Alabama, like Nick Saban says. Someone gets hurt, next man up. Okay? So in retrospect, you have to learn to be valuable so that they won't cut you, so that they won't bench you, so that people be able to see your craft. So you have to learn how to play all the positions. You have to learn the ins and out of the game. Whatever it is, whatever your craft is, you have to go from A to Z. And I always tell these young players, you gotta work hard. Blood, sweat, and tears. Lincoln Tigerettes. That was our motto. We stayed over, we worked hard, we bumped each other, we cried together, we did almost everything together. And that's why I was very successful in women's basketball.
She scored 3,000 points in high school. Her senior year, she averaged 35 points, 15 rebounds, and she brought the ball up court. Yeah, this is really happening. I would tell stories, and people would think, no, Earl, this didn't exist. You're just telling tales. No, this existed back then. This was back in my era. You touched on it. What did it mean to be, like you say, part of that Lincoln tradition back then? Like you say, before you came in, Jackie and her group won state championships, and then you kind of followed that group.
Right. Well, Birmingham, first of all, you have to understand, Birmingham, Alabama is a place where only men basketball were getting all the recognition. And when I came here and I saw that the women were getting just as much recognition as the men, it was amazing to me. I could not believe it. We had a whole gym built for the women. In Alabama, we had to share the gym with the men. They would have half, and we would have half. I mean, you can't practice or you can't be productive just doing half-court things. You need the full court to be able to execute, to be able to be good at your craft. And coming here and seeing that I could be something, because women's basketball is just phenomenal here.
What did it mean to be named a National Player of the Year by Parade Magazine and USA Today at the same year?
It was a great honor. And it just goes to say that working hard pays off. And that's what we did. We worked hard. We stayed in the gym. I stayed playgrounds around St. Louis, when basketball season was over, just shooting, dribbling, doing all the things in my off season. That's where you really get better in your off season. You don't get better during the season. You get better in your off season, practicing on your weaknesses and making them your strengths. Like my left hand was my weakness. When I came back my junior year, my left hand was my strength because I worked on it all summer long. And that's what made me a better player, working on my weaknesses.
You were recruited from every top school in the country back then, but your coach, Ernest Riggins, took a job at San Diego State University. Not much tradition there. And he brought along you, came along, and I believe Tony Wallace came along.
Demetrius Jones.
Yes. And you turned that program around and went to the Sweet 16. What did it mean to really go to a program that didn't have a lot of tradition and make them into an NCAA tournament team right away?
Well, that's what you really want to do. You want to make your mark somewhere. And going to San Diego State was making a mark for Tina Hutchinson, Tony Wallace, Demetrius Jones, and all the rest of the players that came from East St. Louis Lincoln. But no one had ever heard of the women's basketball program there. And that was probably one of the reasons why Coach Riggins was able to get the job there. He was bringing a Fabulous Five with him. from East St. Louis. And so when he got the job, all the other coaches said, oh, well, we don't have a shot at her now. But in the beginning, they did, and they knew they did. But when he got the job, the letters stopped coming, the calls stopped coming, the visits stopped coming because everyone knew that's where we were going.
Your freshman year, she scored 899 points, almost 30 points a game, and 6 steals. She was a dominant defender. That freshman NCAA record stood until a couple of years ago when Juju Watkins, who's a superstar at USC, broke the record. Now, when they showed Juju Watkins, they show her breaking the record, then they showed your name pop up on the TV screen. Now, to me, I had a lot of pride seeing your name because it brought your name. When you saw your name and your face pop up on that screen, what did that mean to you as somebody who kind of helped pave the way for the Jujus and the other great players we see today?
Let me tell you a story. I was actually getting ready for church, and my phone was blowing up. What is all this text messages called? Girl, you've been on TV, you do that. I was like, what? And they had your picture and this and that, and then I was like, no. They showed it at 9 o'clock and at 10 o'clock. And they was like, well, watch it at 10 o'clock. And when I saw my name and saw my picture, I was like, God, what are you doing in my life now? Because this cannot be me on this TV that I'm seeing, and this record is being broke that I held for 41 years. I said, Lord, I thank you. That's first of all what I said, Lord, I thank you. But God has done some amazing things in my life, and I wouldn't trade anything for it.
One more thing about your playing days.
I told you it wouldn't be long.
It's if you were, but you played, of course, a great game. USC was the national power at the time. Of course, Cheryl Miller was the superstar, and of course, the McGee twins, great players. You guys went head-to-head. How many did you score against Cheryl? You remember?
45.
45.
45. I put it up.
As a freshman.
45.
As a freshman.
Yeah.
Now, we knew Cheryl, like Reggie, Cheryl talked a lot of trash and backed it up, but you were about that life that day, weren't you? What was that like going back and forth with that?
The people came to see the Tina Hutchinson and Cheryl Miller show. And like I said earlier, and that's what we did, we put on a show for the people. Now, we split, my freshman year we split. They came to our house, they beat us, and we went to their house and we beat them. And for the freshman class that we had, that had never been done to USC. And it was a phenomenal feeling just to be able to beat them in their own house. And for Tony and myself to we celebrated. It was outstanding.
And finally, what does it feel like you said, your career was cut short because of the ACL injury. Back then, those are career enders. Today, with modern medicine, you're back in 6 months, 9 months, and you're playing maybe stronger before. What did that teach you about your resolve, and then still to be remembered and to get your flowers for everything you've accomplished today? Because a couple years ago, I interviewed Tony Van Zandt, who's a superstar running back, and he had an injury right before his career at Mizzou, never had a chance to see the greatness past high school, and we talked about that. How about your experience and, like I said, getting your flowers now?
Well, the thing about it is, let me just say this, getting hurt, it's not so much physical, it's a mental aspect. When you get ready to come back on that court or field or whatever, the first thing that's gonna go through your mind is, am I gonna get hurt again? Am I gonna be the player or the athlete that I once was? Can I do this? Am I going to be effective? And the mental aspect of it played so much and weighed so heavy on me until I had to pray, I had to fast, I had to ask God, I need to do this. I need to get past this. And the devil will sit on your shoulder and say, hey, you're not going to be that player you once was. And God said, oh, yes, you are. You got to get past this, and you will get past this. And that is what I did. I got past that. I pressed my way. We got to learn, people, how to press our way through things. And that's something that we don't want to do. We don't want to press our way. That's in everything in life. Everything that we do, we got to learn to press our way, no matter what. It may get hard, it may be tough, but God never said that we were going to have it easy on this side. He said that I will be with you every step of the way. You will have trials and tribulations, but you must press your way. You must continue to go on and fight and never give up, no matter what.
Well, Tina Hutchinson, I've been such a big fan of yours ever since I watched you play, try to keep you out there alive, and it's my honor to bring you into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame.
My pleasure.
Tina Hutchinson.
Thank you, guys.